Since September 27, 2025, a new, terrible silence has taken root near the remote homestead of Oak Park Station. It is a silence left in the wake of 4-year-old Gus Lamont, a boy with long curly blonde hair who vanished into the evening air while playing on a dirt mound, wearing a blue Minions t-shirt, a gray sun hat, and little boots. This silence has been punctuated by the whirring of helicopter blades, the determined shouts of volunteers, and the frantic, digital clamor of a concerned nation. Yet it persists, a disturbing void at the heart of one of the country's most perplexing investigations. The official response to this void has been monumental, a testament to a society's refusal to give up on one of its own. The initial 10-day search covered a staggering 470 square kilometers of some of the most rugged terrain in South Australia. Volunteers walked shoulder to shoulder, drones equipped with thermal cameras scanned from above, and Australian Defence Force assets joined the effort. Yet the land yielded almost nothing. The sole physical clue, a single footprint found 3 days after the disappearance roughly 500 meters from the homestead, remains a cryptic message from the landscape. Is it a sign of a little boy's tragic, meandering path? Or a tantalizing, frustratingly incomplete piece of a much larger puzzle? As the public's initial wave of unified hope began to recede, it left behind the hard, dry bedrock of doubt and speculation. The South Australia Police under Commissioner Grant Stevens have maintained a consistent public line. There is no evidence of foul play, and the primary theory remains that Gus simply wandered off. This is the cleanest, simplest narrative, a tragic accident in an unforgiving environment. But the human mind, especially one confronted with such a profound mystery, rarely rests easy with simplicity. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the narrative has begun to fracture, and the focus is turned, as it often does, towards the people closest to the epicenter of the tragedy. The family of Gus Lamont has been described by authorities as devastated and struggling to comprehend. A worldwide peer support group for families of missing children has offered heartbreaking messages, acknowledging the unique and unimaginable pain the family must be enduring. They have cooperated with the police investigation, their lives turned inside out under the glare of a national spotlight. Yet, in the few public appearances and the fragments of information that have emerged, observers have noted subtleties that have fueled online debates and media analysis. The composure displayed by some family members, the measured nature of their statements, has been interpreted in two starkly different ways. Is this the stoic resilience of people determined to hold their world together amidst a nightmare, a necessary shell to contain an ocean of grief? Or does it suggest a level of control, a performance of emotion that masks a deeper, more troubling truth? The questions are unspoken but hang heavy in the air. Why have there been no tearful, desperate public appeals from certain family members? Is their cooperation with police complete and unreserved, or are their layers being carefully managed? This scrutiny is amplified by the very nature of the investigation's findings, or lack thereof. The fact that such an intensive search, employing the best available technology, has found nothing, strikes many as statistically improbable. The outback is vast, but it is not a black hole. It typically reveals clues. The absence of evidence, in this case, feels to a growing segment of the public like a form of evidence in itself. This has led to rampant, and often painful, public speculation. Police have been forced to make a public plea, asking people to stop calling with opinions and to source information only from credible official channels. This plea came in the wake of a particularly damaging wave of fake, AI-generated images that spread across social media, causing further distress and muddying the waters of the investigation. The digital sphere has become a battleground, with armchair detectives dissecting every known detail, their theories ranging from tragic accident to complex familial conspiracy. It is against this backdrop of escalating public pressure and investigative stagnation that the police have made their most significant structural move to date, the establishment of Task Force Horizon. This is not another ground search. It is a dedicated team of 12 specialists, a brain trust of investigative expertise assembled to attack the problem from a new angle. Their mandate is to analyze information, to re-examine every piece of data, and to assess opportunities for further searches based on cold, hard logic, and expert advice. The formation of Task Force Horizon is a clear signal that the investigation is entering a new, more intensive phase. It is an admission that the initial approaches have been exhausted and that the path forward lies not in wider searches, but in deeper analysis. What secrets do the existing phone records, financial transactions, and witness statements hold that were missed in the first pass? Task Force Horizon is now dedicated to answering that very question. The work of this new task force has already manifested in one of the most dramatic physical actions of the investigation since the initial search. In late October and early November, acting on a specific analysis of the property's topography and potential, police undertook the massive logistical operation of draining a large dam located approximately 600 meters from the homestead. This was not a random act. The draining of 3.2 million liters of water from a body so close to the home was a targeted, evidence-based decision. It represented a significant investment of time and resources, and it spoke to a specific, if unstated, hypothesis. The act of draining the dam sent a ripple of grim anticipation through the public. For days, the world watched, waiting for the murky water to recede and reveal what secrets lay hidden in the mud below. But the dam, like the rest of the landscape, gave up nothing. The silence held. No clothing, no evidence, no sign of Gus was found. This result was, in its own way, as significant as a discovery. It closed a door, eliminated a possibility, and forced the investigation back to the drawing board. The failure to find anything in the dam deepened the mystery exponentially. If Gus is not in the vast wilderness, and not in the most obvious body of water near his home, then where is he? Each eliminated possibility makes the remaining ones, including those that are more uncomfortable to contemplate, more probable. Commissioner Grant Stevens has publicly stated that he has not ruled out a potential fourth search of the property. This future search, however, will not be like the others. It will be predicated entirely on the findings of Task Force Horizon. It will be a surgical strike, not a broad sweep. This suggests that police are waiting for a specific trigger, a new data point, a reanalyzed timeline, a verified tip that will pinpoint a precise location. They are moving from a strategy of force to a strategy of precision. The existence of Task Force Horizon and the planned fourth search indicate that the police are far from closing this case. While their public statements remain carefully neutral, their actions betray a relentless, determined pursuit of the truth, no matter where it may lead. The draining of the dam proves they are willing to follow the data into the most labor-intensive and high-stakes avenues. The questions now are what Task Force Horizon is seeing in the evidence that the public cannot, and what their next move will be. The case of Gus Lamont has transcended a simple missing person investigation. It has become a national obsession, a real-time thriller whose next chapter is written not by a screenwriter, but by the slow, methodical work of detectives and analysts. It is a story about the limits of technology, the power of human resilience, and the dark shadows that doubt can cast. The family waits, trapped in a nightmare with no end in sight. The police press on, guided by the faint hope that one piece of information will make everything fall into place. And the public watches, its collective heart breaking for a little boy in a Minion shirt, while a single, unanswerable question echoes across the silent, sun-baked plains of South Australia. Where's Gus Lamont? The investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information is urged to contact the South Australia Police directly through their official channels. This story is far from over.